Welcome back. We missed you, as always. Whenever we don't get to talk to you, our hearts kind of go down a little bit, right, Caldor?
A little bit.
They don't. Caldor doesn't care, man. He has no feelings, no emotions.
I don't have a heart.
He doesn't have a heart. He's the Grinch that stole Christmas and esports.
We all are. All Germans are. That's a reputation that we have to come up.
Stereotypes here.
Stereotypes are true.
We're in the middle of a series here between the Playing Ducks and Synergy. The Playing Ducks currently up 1-0, really turning it up. Today they seem to have shown up, but so has Synergy as well. We had some really good moments for them. There was kind of a composition fault there. Unfortunately, not having Cleanse available against a variant really hurts, so the Playing Ducks getting that variant for that 5th pick. We're going to be going to Braxis Holdout for game number 2, and the Ducks have elected to choose this map.
Yeah, the Ducks chose the map, and can talk about that, but also with the variant. Again, I think the Cleanse is more so important against the combo with a Horrify, because you cannot win a battle with variance taunt because of the cooldown discrepancy. But Braxis, what does that remind you of? What did we see the last time? Double globals, and they used it in a very different fashion. So we had a couple of approaches that teams had to Braxis Holdout already. One with double global was from Dignitas when they had Dehaka at the top lane and Falstad was at the bottom. And what they basically did is they used Dehaka to tunnel down to the bot lane, turn it into a quick 5 versus 4 situation, try to go for a kill, confirm the kill, and then Falstad flew top to soak the experience so that they wouldn't lose out. The Ducks had a different approach the last time. They also drafted Dehaka Falstad, but they kept both of them on one lane and then engaged with both of the heroes to the other lane in order to turn it into a massive numbers advantage, and it worked out beautifully for them. So this is something that if you're Synergy, you have to know and you have to be careful about.
At the same time, you're Synergy. You run this battleground differently than a lot of folks just because you want to play different heroes and you mix it up. In fact, the Playing Ducks themselves don't mind not running globals too. They've ran Chromie in the past. They're willing to go these poke compositions. I love watching Braxis Holdout in Europe in particular, because I feel like we get every other flavor besides vanilla. You get vanilla on different maps, but for here, we get the chocolate, we get the strawberry ice cream, all the fun stuff, man. Braxis Holdout is probably one of my favorite battlegrounds to watch here in Europe, because you get your Rexars, you get your Pandas, you get your Chromies. It's so fun to see.
All right, there's nothing wrong with vanilla, though.
There's nothing wrong with
vanilla.
vanilla.
It's a great flavor.
Yeah, but you have to
also,
adjust it.
Yeah, and also while we're talking about this, pineapple belongs on pizza.
Where does it? Came out of nowhere, man.
No, it didn't. You guys are weird. Everybody freaks out in the US if you talk about it, but it's the honest truth. If you live in Europe, you know, pineapple belongs on pizza. Just deal with it. It's a fact. Accept it. It's not an alternative fact. Ban on Medivh.
Ban on Medivh.
Talk
the
to
team
me.
has been taken out. Talk to you. Yes, Caldor. I do agree with you on the screen here. Medivh was banned out. That's me talking to you. Also, it's just going to take it away from the Playing Ducks. Yes, taking away from the Playing Ducks.
Either about the pizza or about that. You make your choice.
Okay,
it's up to you.
Here's 2 opinions. One, Medivh being taken away from the Playing Ducks is great. Obviously, it's something that we see a lot of plays on here on Braxis Holdout. It can be insane. Leyland Seals are easy to hit. And 2, you kind of force down this Mighty Gust route, which you can answer with Dehaka. Secondly, on the pizza thing, there is actually even crazier pizzas out there.
Oh God, I saw the strawberry thing. That's
strawberries
disgusting.
on pizza, man.
That is disgusting.
I'm gonna try it one day. You know, I gave the pineapple a try and actually did enjoy it. It was actually good. You are correct in that regard.
I think it was Rufflecopter who tweeted that picture and it gave me nightmares. That gave me, I mean, that gives me food poisoning and I didn't even eat it just from looking at it. So
can't be that bad.
Medivh banned out. We talked about Medivh as a setup on the side of the Ducks, and they played that a lot. Now we have the Playing Ducks, again banning out the Oriel. So the reason why they ban out Oriel is because they say from the get-go, we know that our opponent loves to play double support composition with an Oriel in the mix, and especially Sefkaje is strong on the hero. So they try to take a composition away from Synergy that they excel with, especially when they couple the double support with Neon on Vala. That has been a theme for them in the past. So it's a really good counter ban on the side of the Ducks. Synergy, they have to of course be afraid of that combo that we saw a little bit earlier. We explained a bit about how with Dehaka and Falstad, Ducks made some good plays here. So Synergy prioritize one of the globals to the extent that they say Falstad. Now, why Falstad and not Dehaka? I think one of the main reasons why we're seeing this is because they know that they already have one of the best solo laners, I would say, that we have for the teams. They have Hydra, who can play up at the top lane, a Probius, a Rexar. It doesn't really matter what you throw at him. Hydra plays the odd heroes, he's really good at them, and he usually controls the area quite nicely. So this is why they are prioritizing the Falstad right now, I feel.
Hail Hydra, man. He's so good in those top lanes. Also, another note too, Falstad doesn't have to be in the top lane. Most teams will throw Falstad up there. You can actually have Falstad in the bottom lane and be in these rotations and be pretty well. Over to the Playing Ducks, they are setting up pretty strong already. Dehaka's going to be that answer for that top lane, so now we have a great top lane with the Dehaka. And Zarya just great in that bottom lane. With any auto attack hero in the game, or even Gul'dan to a degree, you can take trades all day.
And Zarya is a hero that we have seen Sport Billy play, for example. So you can really tell what Synergy is doing here is also starting to really target Sport Billy a bit more. Medivh banned again, same as we saw in the last time. Falset, another hero he plays, also banned out. Then another hero that we had playing Dux with Sport Billy having a huge impact on was, of course, as you remember, Zeratul. Not really the hero that we oftentimes see on this map. I mean, it's not unheard of that you see a Zeratul on Braxis, but it's not really the standard hero you go for, since you're really relying on the very intense 4-man. You need a strong 4-man and a strong solo lane because you need to take control of the beacons. But we could have also seen a Gul'dan, for example. This is one of the things that the Dux right now haven't picked up. And now the question, of course, do you ban that Gul'dan out if you're a Synergy?
With you having a noob right, I could see the confidence behind it, and now they have a cleanse available. They might leave it up. However, Gul'dan warrants enough wave clear that maybe he's worthy of the ban here in the bottom lane, especially with the Zarya. If you make a misstep, Zarya walks forward, gets some shields, gets some energy going, they can outpoke you all day, even with the Malfurion.
Yeah, the Malfurion is definitely a bit of a game changer for them as well, and they have also a bit of lockdown, so that might help them a lot with these counterplays that we've been talking about. The Ducks need also to think about, okay, what do we personally want to ban out here? Falset is already in the mix. They are not going to target the top lane, I'd say, and especially yesterday, we saw for Synergy already a fair amount of different heroes that Hydra jumped onto, but he played Probios on solo lanes. We saw that several times by them. His Rek'Sai is famous for this team. It's one of the reasons why Rek'Sai is sometimes even banned out. He played Rek'Sai yesterday on Dragonshire too. So I'm curious what the playing Ducks really value highly enough to ban it out in this setup now.
Let's find out. Playing Ducks will ban out the
Gul'dan.
So Gul'dan is gonzo. He will not be played here. Will not be picked up. Picking Synergy to possibly get rid of it, but the playing Ducks looking like they want to move into an auto attacker in that bottom lane. Remember, Vol is good here. Zul'jin, Tychus is usually what they move into. We've even seen Jaina in the past, but it's been a while since Jaina's been in the rotation, so I'm not expecting that today. I'm expecting them to actually try to move into potentially a Tychus to get that strong bottom rotation.
The Ducks usually have... Okay, and there we have Varian. We were talking in the last game already about adjustments that have to be made on the side of Synergy. I thought personally that that would already be covered by Malfurion being taken and also Gul'dan being banned out by the Ducks, but Varian was apparently such a sore point that with Zarya now also shielding him, they just said, okay, screw that guy. We're not going to go up against him anymore. We're kind of fed up with him. Yeah,
he's kind of good. It's pretty solid in terms of going in for those engages and stopping your TP and stuff.
He's an amazing pup stomper.
Yes,
I'm having so much time in solo pups right now playing Varian. It's fantastic.
Wait until Twin Blades of Fury gets buffed, and then I'll be playing him all day, every day, man. I want those auto attacks.
No. So, just a quick public service announcement, do not take Twin Blades. I know it's tempting. If you play Quick Match, I don't care what you do. But if you play Hero League, do the world a favor and pick Taunt. You see how strong it is right here. Don't listen to the special snowflake over there.
I'm saying PSA number 2, Twin Blades of Fury makes you feel stronger.
Yeah, it makes you feel stronger.
It makes you feel
but
good.
That's an illusion right there.
I mean, losing the game doesn't feel good, but picking it the moment when he rips the swords in half, oh, that's money. That's money right there.
And that's the only moment when it feels good.
I mean, if you could just pick that talent and then end the game, I'd be totally cool. That would be sick. All right, so we got Vala and then Muradin. So we get Crisplosion on his Muradin.
That guy.
And his Muradin it's one that's either completely on point and he is devastating, or it's one that you're kind of off. And that's just kind of how Muradin works nowadays.
Yeah, they had a couple of very good showings with Muradin. If you get that initial stun in, they definitely have the damage output here. I'm really looking also to Sport Billy on Zarya. Again, his explosion zones are usually really on point. We have Chris on Vala. It's a bit of a hyper carry setup, not quite to the extent, but Zarya with the shields is going to help out Vala a lot. And then we, of course, have the real support coming in on the end. Synergy, they know what they're up against, so they need to be careful with that. I could have even seen Synergy thinking about a variant pickup against Zarya just because of the level 13 time when you get the shields in. But they go for Kel'Thas and Sonya. So a little bit more spin to win up to the top lane, going for the solo. Not quite what I expected from Hydra, but pretty cool. It's has a bit of a different touch. That's not the normal Synergy that you see, so they're mixing it up a little bit. Yeah. And they have a Kel'Thas now for a bit of AoE damage, constant poke, and of course also those living bombs.
Kel'Thas good for the wave clear in the bottom. It is a little bit difficult to pull that off against Zarya, and if you overstep, Muradin will pounce in a heartbeat. Very similar to what we saw in the last map in Infernal Shrines with the variant going for the engage. Muradin can do the same thing here, just again, it's a skill shot instead of a point and click. So KT will have to be a bit difficult. Luckily for him, he will have Malfurion to drop roots on his body there and make sure he's saved.
And while we're waiting for the last pick here, since we've been talking about pineapple on pizza, my phone has been buzzing non-stop, so I expect a lot of tweets from angry Americans that tell me that I have absolutely no taste.
I don't know. It's super binary in America when it comes to that pizza.
I know.
You either try it or you don't. And then if you try it, you're like, you know what? This is actually decent. But if you don't, like, it just looks horrible. There's a Rhaegar being picked
are
up.
you currently telling me that all the people that say pineapple does not belong on pizza are just ignorant because they never tried it? And if they would try it, they would actually love it. Is that what you just said? Am I translating that correctly?
I will. I'm not saying it that aggressively. I would say in Heroes terms, they're not quite Lily players. They're not adventurers.
So
yet.
you're not saying it that aggressively, but it's what you mean.
I'm going to go ahead and just talk about this draft here because I like being nice to people, and Caldor does not. If you don't want to try pizza, you don't have to. It's all right. It's okay. You can do it. Rhaegar will be the final pickup, which makes sense here with the triple tank lineup, by the way. You know, Caldor speaks the truth. Pineapple on pizza is amazing, and so are these HGC games. That's a good way to look at it, is you're agreeing with somebody, and then you're tying it into HGC, and you're making it positive. That's a good tweet. That's an A+ in my book. That's a good one.
Don't try Twin Blades.
So I'm just lost right now. I'm thinking about pizza. I'm actually kind of hungry now. Like, can we have pizza for lunch?
We didn't have breakfast.
Where's David?
Well, we had
can
coffee.
We had
coffee. But yeah, so...
Can we have pizza for lunch? I want David to say yes. David, pizza? Yes? Okay, we're having pizza.
Cool.
Good.
Coming back, jokes aside, guys. Coming back to the draft here quickly. So we had Rhaegar rounding it out. You, of course, could see that on the screen where we went off a little bit, so my apologies for that. But we have a pretty hyper carry Vala on the side of the playing Ducks. And Dehaka should have the top lane. So they have a ton of sustain currently at the bottom of the map. Muradin is over there. You have also a quite fair amount of wave clear thanks to the lightning shield. You have the constant poke from Zarya and then Vala as well. It's a really beefy foreman that they have here. Up at the top lane, it's going to probably be the battle between the Sonya and the Haka, so that's something that we have to watch out for. That is a battle that Sonya definitely can take, and it's going to be a pretty fierce one. So this is one of these situations where we could false it, for example, at some point make a move to the top lanes to say, hi, try to get the kill against the Haka, put a bit of pressure on, because I also like what Synergy has. And what I love about what Synergy is currently running here is that it's very different from what we have seen in the last, I think, 4 or 5 weeks from them.
Big variation. We don't have an oddball top lane pick that we normally see from Hydra. I'm just interested to watch triple tank now against Synergy here, who Synergy actually has percentage damage between KT and, of course, Falstad, so they have some power spikes that can be effective in this game. We'll see how it works out in game number 2. We're going to Braxis Holdout as Synergy is aiming to tie it up with the Playing Ducks, who currently lead with a 1-0.
We are for our second game on Braxis Holdout. And at this point, to the left side, down 1 game in the best of 5 series, it is Team Synergy with Hydra on Sonya, Sir Ice Cream on Kel'Thas, Neon on Falstad, Power of Dreams on Anubura. Again, we have Sefka on Malfurion.
To the right side, in the red, it will be Wolf Joe on Rhaegar. Chris Explosion will be playing Muradin. Sport Philly on the Zarya. We're going to be having Chris playing Vala. And last, it's Nande on Dehaka.
And Nanda on the Dehaka is going to be the one up to the top lane, but right now they are splitting this 3-2 again. So the cool thing about the Ducks is that when they approach Braxis Holdout in particular, keep in mind, it's their map pick, they have oftentimes a lot of different approaches to the map than what other teams do. The traditional setup is a 1-4. That's what you're trying to run. And maybe Playing Ducks, again, attempting to do things a bit differently here. They have a very beefy bot lane. Neon already far out here, poking off against Chrisplosion. But so far, no Stormbolt being hit, no real approach there, just vision granted by Sefka in particular.
Gonna have Scouting Drone picked up at level 1 here from Malfurion. What do you think about that over Shandos with KT?
I actually think that in this, I mean, I don't really think that you necessarily need in this. I think that having the Scouting Drone for the vision is absolutely great for them here, especially since you have a Dehaka and also a Muradin being able to lock someone down. So if you have the vision here, I think that benefits them way more. Don't really think you need to go into Shandos here. I like the vision. It's just such a, it's one of these tools, especially if you think how the last game went, there were so many little traps being set up by the Playing Ducks that Synergy fell into. I think this is more of a safer pick for them, where they definitely have, they have an easier time probably to just play around it with the vision so that they are not falling into these odd moments.
And the best part about it too is if you're in a fight and you hear Dehaka's noise, if you have a Scouting Drone available, you just drop it and you see where exactly he is coming from. So Synergy setting up for that vision to make sure they are not trapped again. I love the adjustment. Now, our lanes are starting to really be figured out here. In fact, Anubrak is meeting with Murden here in the middle as the two of them are trying to rotate, trying to get an edge on each other. Vala does okay in this lane. She doesn't really wave clear as well as Kael'thas. Oh, hang on. Big Anubrak charging here on the back right. Nande will use his burrow to survive. The 3 people on the top here as the beacons will activate.
I love to see playing Ducks on this map because it just breaks the conventional meta so often with how the lanes work. They rotate between top and bot. And it really works out for them. To the top lane, we have now all of a sudden a 3-man. Neon is eating a lot of these parted grenades, so he needs to be careful. Also, Sonya with an attempt to go for the globe. Doesn't get it. Hydra needs to move back. Vala, on the other hand, at the bot lane was in the meantime sniped. So that is a huge problem. Wolfjo alone is going to have a rough time holding that beacon or doing anything here. Whereas we see Muradin with another trap apparently waiting for someone to rotate down. Hydra eats the Storm Bolt, and that could be the end of him.
Is going to be able to whirlwind away. Malfurion's rotating up to help him out with the assist. The root will be dropped and the heal. Something to note, with triple tank compositions, you do not want to fall behind. It's really hard, especially against a comp that you're going to be playing against with Synergy having Kael'thas and Sonya, or not Sonya, Falsten, who will have percentage damage talents available that will allow for them to burst through their opponents. So staying on even footing is important. That means losing the first beacon phase is something that playing Ducks do not want to do. In fact, they're going pretty aggressive here. Chris Explosion sitting on Malfurion will help get the kill with the aid of Chris. Power himself even in trouble.
Yeah, Anubrak goes down, and before him, the old geezer was fighting the dust as well. If you're 10,000 years old, your reactions are a little bit slower. Losing a third one is not really what they were looking for. I mean, at this point, they actually got the original kill against Vala, and that made them look pretty dominant in the bot lane. But now the Ducks countering with a triple kill, and that just feels bad. Synergy being in a very awkward position. They still have a lead, a slight lead at least, when it comes to the beacon progress. But of course, now they have to recapture those beacons.
We're going to make a big rotation in the top lane. As Synergy is hoping to stop this beacon from getting taken by the Ducks. All members up here, 3 of them in fact. Kael'thas is the only one in the bottom. Power's gonna dive in. He hits Explosion, the shield comes out. He does not have jump available, and he does fall, even with the heal coming in from Wolfjo. And we have some aggression on our hands, Caldor.
Traditionally, this is really a map where you want to have a very static split just because the distance between the 2 lanes is so huge. This is completely different from that, and I am absolutely loving it. This is organized chaos, if you so want. We're currently seeing Sport Billy and Nand at the top desperately trying to hold their wall, but they're already losing out on that a bit. The rotations are currently a bit crisper for Synergy, disregarding that triple kill for just a second. And it's also thanks to Falstad having, of course, that global mobility that he can use. The bot lane is now our one-on-one lane with Kael'thas facing off against Vala.
We have 4 on the top here for the Ducks, but Anubrak comes in from the side. Power looking for an engage. Can he get the power engage he wants? Nande's low on health, getting chunked by Hydra. Hydra moves in. Nande's still low. Shield comes out, but it's not enough.
Great job by Hydra here. And also, big shout out to Sevka. He's really making these plays happen with great roots that always lock targets down. Made a bit easier, of course, by the amount of melees that we have to the top now, with Vala not being here. Level 7 talents for both of them at this point. We see the Poison Spear for Sonya, a little bit more of that damage output. And Muradin with a Skullcracker.
Skullcracker being here will help with blocking down both Malfurion and KT if possible. Falstad should be able to escape. He's just moving forward though onto Wolfjo. He's being focused for the moment. Heal comes out. Chris moves in. Auto attack going off. Here's Nande too to join the party.
Yeah, joins the party here immediately, and they are recapturing that beacon. There's the drag against Kel. The Ice Cream trying to move away. He gets taken out. What about Chris Explosion? He moves away in the last moment. Chris himself is also low, but is able to move out. Up to the top lane, Zarya is attempting to capture the beacon now too, and Hydra seems to be in a bit of trouble. So we have the beacon progressing again for the Ducks. They're currently at 50 against 70% on the progress bar.
Power getting hit here too as Chris Explosion will land a Stormbolt. The beacon phase continues to climb. Sonya in the top lane. Hydra will stop it for now, but we have a bit of a tie game. Look at the experience. So close, but so is the beacon phase. 70 to 60%.
I like this a lot. This is really fun. 4 kills against 3 now. Of course, the Ducks still ahead in the entire series, but this is definitely Synergy showing up, blowing Muradin into the next orbit.
Verdant taken out. Chris is forced to retreat as Neon steps up. Dahaka has rotated the top, but Fawcett should be able to fly. We're going to have another 2-on-2 on the top. Doesn't matter though, Synergy gets the beacon, and Nande is being slowed down by that hammering.
They get the Zerg, they win the first objective with 100 to 60, and now of course we are going to see how much they can do with that. At the bot lane, Sir Ice Cream attempting to deep push. He has the AoE here. Sefka is helping him out, and this is definitely an awesome fight that we're currently having between our two teams. I'm really enjoying this. Synergy netting themselves an experience lead that could very well translate into the early level 10 now that they take out the fort in the top lane on top of it. And that might be an opportunity for them to jump in even deeper.
Yeah, Synergy definitely in a much better spot. First off, because they have a bigger Zerg wave, but two, because Kel'Thas is a monster at defense. He's going to drop down the Qs on that bottom lane, clear it out. In fact, it's already been killed off. That 10 now hits. Synergy makes a big rotation. They can move in on Dahaka, or they can even go for an aggressive boss play. We'll see what Synergy will be pulling off here with a slight lead. They change the actual rotation to the bottom lane just to grab turrets.
I'm really loving the way that Synergy is doing this, specifically because playing Ducks are traditionally very strong on this battleground. And it's a bit impressive to me, I have to say, because how off their communication was yesterday. They look so much more on point today. But of course, playing Ducks is still the team that is in the lead here when it comes to the series overall. So let's see if they can start that comeback. We have Synergy with now an attempt to go into Cocoon though. And that's usually something where we're a little bit skeptical depending on the setup, but now they're ahead and they wanna force these fights, and that's what they do. Cocoon and Gust for isolation. Loving it. Going full old school here.
Yep, and they don't mind dropping all of their heroics too, just to get that kill. Especially because their opponents have no heroics themselves. They get the kill, which allows them to continue pushing in. Crystplosion's on the side here for a potential flank, especially with Dahaka being able to rotate in, but they have to wait for Zarya.
Really liking the way Synergy plays this now. They did the wall at the bottom. They need to make sure that they don't overextend here, though. There comes the drag attempt from Dahaka at the side. Neon barely gets out. They're on the way back. Still a 5 versus 4, but Zarya already on the way.
Synergy will get the retreat. Too late here for the Ducks to make something happen, and they'll have to wait before Synergy gets their heroics up and tries to fight again. For now, Ducks having 10 feels much more comfortable being together with those 3 warriors. We'll grab the mercenary camp here on the right side, while Synergy will do the same on the left. They're starting to grab the Hellbats, Fawcett's flying on the top, keep that experience lead here. Getting to 13 is a big spike.
This feels a little bit like a brawl, I have to say. This is pretty fantastic. So right now, the Ducks on 10, of course. The death of Zarya was a bit of a setback, and they lost the wall at the keep as a result. But now they can still start fights, and they are invading very aggressively that top camp.
Root comes down, Zarya will get hit, Mighty Gust comes out, Crystplosion is being focused here. Damage coming out overall. Nande comes in, he's in the back, Explosion Zone here, they go straight for KT. The drag connects with the cleanse, it's instant. Hydra goes in and kills Vala.
The camp has been stolen away, but now they go for spot. Billy Gravity Labs comes through. Great Ancestral out of Rhaegar. Once again, they're jumping in. Wolfjoy is attempting to keep everybody alive as we have a wraparound of Neon and Sefka attempting to go for another lockdown. But playing Ducks, they moved away already, and now the camp is cleared. So Synergy loses the camp, but they get a kill against Chris.
I like that fight too. Ducks went in hoping to get in the fight before 13 happens. You know, when Giant Killer comes on, other talents as well for the opposing team. And they almost move in, but Vala getting caught out and no Ancestral coming out on time. Vala taken out. That's all the damage for the Ducks, and Synergy just wins that fight.
24 stacks currently on Season Marksman now that we have Giant Killer available. So we're still a fair bit off him completing the quest talent, but that's already good damage that he can push out now. So we are looking at a very solid spot for Synergy as now the second beacon phase is active. They have the level 13 talents, cooldowns are ready. They could go for Cocoon and Gust once again.
Crystplosion gets sniffed out here. Neon and crew will be able to grab this beacon in the top right. Vala has spawned and they're moving into the bottom.
Meridian is hopping out again. Bet he's feeling a wee bit overshadowed now. Trailer reference, don't look at me like that. You know he's kicking so much R's.
I love that all of your lore is from the hero trailers.
Okay, I have a little bit more lore than that, but my lore is very much restricted to Warcraft 3.
All right, so we have 13 to 11. Synergy's in a really good spot. It's to the point where the Playing Ducks kind of have to just group up and be near each other and hope to have a better team fight. Falstad's floating around the top, can work in this attack and fly in at any point.
Cocoon
has been used.
They want to go for the fight. Here comes the Phoenix. They go for it. Nande low heals himself already. The healing wall on the ground. This time Synergy lacking that second ult that came in. They attempt to lock Crystplosion down with another Malfurion root. Not quite successful. Slight beacon progress for Synergy, but Crisplosion is moving down to the top. Trying to channel this one. A few more points on the side of Synergy now, already looking at 26. But overall, the Ducks are just trying to buy time for them to reach the next talent tier.
Yep, third one really helping out Murden here. He gets poked in fights, but he's able to get healed back on up because of that level 1 talent. And has allowed the team to delay these beacon phases. 26% available for Synergy as we move to level 14. 12 and a quarter of experience available for the Ducks as they are desperately looking for experience everywhere they can on the map. They may even catch a wall set here. Oh, Crisplosion goes for the jump and he gets locked down. Oh no, Gust even coming out from
Why?
Neon.
Explain that Gust to me.
It looked cool, man. Sometimes you just gotta be cool. You know?
The jump is already out. The cooldown is already used. There's nothing Murden can do. He's boxed in from 2 sides. 5 people gang up on him. And then Forster comes in and you know what? Because I can, YOLO. There you go. I'm loving it. I mean, it doesn't make a difference. Gust is going to be ready for the next team fight anyways. But still, that was interesting. Ancestral is out. Sport Billy is still dead.
Yep, it gets picked off. Wolfjo attempts to save him, but even with shields and such, Flying Ducks aren't able to survive. And this is where the triple tank kind of really hurts here. We're getting to level 13. They're behind a couple of levels. Big beacon phase. Their wave clear is relatively low. You really need to bring that Vala in for that multi-shot, and Dahaka even, just to clear out these waves. But they're behind, and they're getting picked off.
100% Zerg wave against the 6 pool that is going to spawn for the Playing Ducks here. And that is just not going to do too much. Once again, Muradin is down. The Dwarf is dead. He is constantly getting picked off here, especially now that we're having more and more damage on the side of the Giant Killer combo with the Season Marksman. 30 stacks at this point for Falstad. And Muradin, he died 4 times.
It's kind of a lot of dust, man. 13 is hit here. The Ducks at least have a talent, but guess what just happened, Caldor? Synergy hit 16. So they continue to keep the lead. Hydra even drops in the Diva spray paint. We're going to have the core being focused down. Nade in the back left, attempting to clear out the Hydras, but Hydra will just turn around and move in for the engage. Crisplosion comes in and jumps in. Here's the mighty Gust. Chris on the left is being focused. He's trying to stutter step, but he will not survive. All the damage now down for the Ducks.
Core on 60%. Synergy is going for it. They have a kill against Vala. Main damage healer is out. The Ducks are trying to defend here. Cocoon on point. Crisplosion about to die a 5th time, but jumps out. Nunda also low. There's still a few of the Guardians dropping damage onto the core. It's now at 50%. Sport Billy surviving for now, but Neon goes in for the kill. Wolfjo himself also about to fall. Sonya dying though.
Sonya being picked off. Nubrak was low as well. He had to back home, so only 3 people here hitting the core. It drops down to 15%. Now Fury about to be killed off. Ice Cream as well. Neon, the last one standing. Can he get it? He gets the last auto attack, and the Playing Ducks will lose. Synergy grabbing a victory here and tying the series.